Welcome, my friends, to a new interview. Yeah, fresh new interview with Cuentame USA with Moncho Camano. Camaño, I'll say it again. Camaño with a little thing on top. Camaño, Camano, whatever. For the people in Alaska, Camano. Okay, fine. Today I'm speaking with Richard. He's a music composer, keyboard, and also does a lot of good singing in this metal band and all its derivatives because metal is so large and all those subgenres. So the band is called Aevum, and they're from I don't know, it's Torino, Turin, Italy.
Yeah,
Eh,
Torino.
yeah, Torino,
Torino
Juventus,
in English,
the,
but Torino, yeah,
the
it's in
Juventus, the
Italian.
Juventus, the soccer team,
Well, yeah,
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 yeah.
everybody knows them. Good team. So I got him online, and we're gonna talk about their new release. It came in. It just released in January this year.
You're
It's called
right.
it's called
Totally right.
Kaleidoscope, and I've been listening to it, and there's only one problem with that record. It's too short. So we're gonna talk about that. I want to know about the band itself because I just came across this band a couple of I don't know 2 3 months ago, and it caught me by surprise. And I really enjoy listening to their albums. So what's the best thing to do? Just talk to one of the main guys, which is Richard. Thank you so much for having for
Thank
being
you to
here, my
you.
friend.
Thank you to you, Jose. It's very pleasure to be here. I'm happy to answer to all your questions and to about your followers, and I'm happy to be hosted in your interview.
Thank you so much, my friend. I got a new imaginary friend. His name is Richard. So we're gonna know about a little bit about your band. I believe it started like in 2007, and it took a while for you to get up and running. Is that right, Richard?
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. At the time I was still young.
Still young. Wow.
And when you begin, a new project, it was my first projects at the time. It took a while to not stabilize, but to find the right lineup. So yeah, we started actually not 20 years ago, but 18, so we're close. But we had a long history before having a real album,
Mm.
and it took at least 5 years to be able to stabilize the lineup and then be able to have a real start. So every time that I consider that, I will say that the real start is more around 2012,
Mm.
2011, 2012 for the
So,
band.
so you are on one of the band founders, I guess. You are
Yeah,
you are the architect of the project of the this project, I guess we could say.
I can say so.
Yeah. Hmm. So how did your musical journey begin? Tell me about your background in music, Richard.
Well, like many musician in this field, actually, we started, listening metal music. Maybe we were playing on a particular instrument. In my case, it was piano,
Okay.
and I started to fall in love at the time with metal music. And well, very well, that there we have multiple genre of metal
Mm.
inside. But one of the first that hit my soul, I could say, was the gothic metal. So bands like at the time I remember Moonspell,
Yeah,
Portuguese,
the Portuguese
big
band here.
Portuguese band,
Hmm.
Tristania from the north. So it was the real gothic metal. It was something that I was listening to. I was surprised at the sound, how they were able to create these atmospheres. And so, I was young, I was willing to create something like this, and I said, okay, one
Hmm.
day we'll create my own band in the Gothic field. And the first years were kind of hard. And
Hmm.
after a while, it started in 2007 to be able to find the first members and start a sort of project.
Hmm.
The problem at the beginning, you don't have any. information. You don't know how to deal with, simple things like recordings, how to compose, how to deal also with people. It's like a relationship. So you
Right.
discover the people that you have around you, and it was funny, but it took a while, to be able to go and to be able to launch the machine.
Hmm. So, do you go to a music conservatory or had private teacher lessons in piano? Is that how did you?
I did both, but the conservatory I didn't finish.
Okay.
Um, I always consider myself not a classic musician. I listen to classic music. I enjoy classic music still today. But the approach, the way you have to approach the instrument in that way is different. Something that it doesn't belong to me. It
Yeah.
took a while also to understand that because it was like, no, no, I can do it. I studied many years. I spent hours and hours on the instrument, but
Yeah.
then I realized that it wasn't my path,
Is that just because there's less freedom to be uh you have to follow it's too strict with the rules with
Today, yes. Today,
yeah.
yes. It's funny because 150 years ago, it was one of the only way to express your freedom was total freedom. And still today, if
Yeah.
you analyze concert, things like this, even in structured concerts, you have the chance to have a sort of improvisations. It's not just in jazz, it's also in classic music.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that we lost. So today, the classic musician, the stereotype, and it's actually 99% of the time true, is someone that is just replicating something at the perfection, for sure, because they are perfect.
Yeah.
But,
It's very
well,
technical, right? It's like too much.
technical and like the space that you have
Yeah.
because yeah you can interpretate what you are
Yeah.
playing but
Yeah.
well for
And
me it's a huge gap between create and actually play something with and give your interpretation. It's
yeah.
something that it
Not
doesn't belong to me.
like not much room to grow as a musician, maybe.
Unfortunately, I could say yes. You can
Mm,
you are maybe one of the biggest technical musician, but I think on the creative level, well, you miss something.
right, I understand. Hmm. The band's name, Aevum, it has a religious connotation, I guess we could say, right? It's contemporary
Yeah, yes and no, actually.
band.
It's more of, well, first of all, I have to admit that if I could go back in time,
Hmm.
I will change the name because it's one of the most difficult names to pronounce.
Yeah, it is. It is for me.
Because actually it came from Latin,
Yeah.
and in Latin, A and E
Hmm.
together is pronounced E.
Hmm.
So the pronunciation in Italian is Evum. It's
Aevum.
not Aevum, but it's Evum because it's a rule from Latin.
Hmm.
So in English, sometimes we pronounce it Aevum
Hmm.
because you to follow A E,
Hmm.
or sometimes we pronounce just Evum because it's like from Latin, and so you have to pronounce like he. So this is why today is still hard to pronounce the name. And actually, no, it's not. It's well, it's a little bit religious, but not so religious. It's more metaphysical. It's a sort of a dimension, but also when you see it, you go to check the definition of Avum
Hmm.
online. It's
Hmm.
kind of hard to get the conception. It's something philosophical and metaphysical more.
Hmm. Hmm. Be- No, I did it. I said it because one of your, I think maybe your first EP. I don't know if it's the first one. It's called Celestial
Celestial Angel. Ah,
Angels,
you
right?
you did a very good research. Yes, right. Because actually, the Avum is sort of metaphysical dimension, and
Hmm.
in a certain philosophy, in that dimension, we're living the angels. So this is why we
Hmm.
decide to link the angels with the our name band.
Hmm. Hmm. That's very interesting. So I guess I was right. Your first project, your first
AP
EP was in
7. Eight.
2007,
Sorry. Eight.
2008.
I started to forget all even
Yeah.
production.
So there's has been a lot evolution from that album to your last one. You went through I guess lineup changes during all these years, and that's a good thing. You gotta keep
Sure.
you
And
gotta keep
then it was always our approach.
yeah.
I know that actually it's kind of too hard sometimes to explain this, and it's not, I have to admit, it's not paying
Mm,
back the fact to change or to be able mm, to move from one genre and try to evolve to another genre of music.
right.
But it's something that it belongs to us. It belongs to me. The way
Mm,
that I get bored easily, and I like to move on every time. I like to experiment, and so it's something that we did. I always admire. I remember, for instance, artists that they had a huge hit on me when I was younger.
mm,
And at the beginning, even myself, I wasn't understanding at the time artists that were kind of having, huge success, and suddenly they were changing what
right.
they were doing. It was kind of a little bit disappointing at the beginning, but then I started to change my mind.
Of course.
I started to appreciate this.
Mm,
So I did it myself, the same thing. So we started in a certain way. At the time, it was kind of easier also the approach of music. So to compose, because we were able to compose songs of 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 9
mm,
minutes, 8 minutes. So it was kind of easy. Today, you can do it, but it will be kind of impossible for the Spotify market. So if you want to be listened to,
yeah.
it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard.
I understand. It is hard. So your band blends many metal genres. Uh, so how would you describe the music you're making right now? If you had to describe it, there is no way that you could describe it as any genre right
No, no,
now.
I have a way. It's kaleidoscope.
The
But the
band,
name
the
of the
last
album,
name.
it's not like just randomly we choose the
Mm-hmm.
name of the album, but it was on purpose because the meaning of this it's this, that's actually we can describe something that is so different track by track. We depict a different
Mm,
tale, so we depict a different ambience, so we depict a different situation. It's kind
right.
of funny. And you're right. Actually, Kaleidoscope, we defined that
Mm,
mini album. We never said that we were releasing an album. It was a mini album, and we
yeah.
focused on few short songs because
Right.
actually today the problem is that we don't believe anymore in albums. We know that still metal is still attached a lot, sort of
Right.
sentimental to the albums because it's
Yeah.
something that I grew up, you grew up
Yeah.
listening to
You
albums.
know.
But today, albums have no any more sense. People that are listening, if you go to read statistics, people that are listening to the entire album are so low. In general, people listen to one song, two songs, and people listen to playlist.
Yeah.
So the goal of artists today is to enter the massive playlist. They don't care to be well, they care to be listening. They create the album because for I told you, I grew up with the concept of album. But this is why we decided to move to a
Mm,
mini album because it was easier,
yeah.
faster to write it. At the same time, because except people like you, people that are still doing reviews, they are still listening to entire albums. Like me, I also do this type of
Yeah.
things.
Mm,
The general mass of people are not anymore listening to albums.
yeah.
So this is why we
Yeah.
choose that.
I still do both things, you know. I listen to full albums and I enjoy listening to them and going back to all albums and stuff. But also, you know, like you said, I'm on Spotify. I might listen to an album. Once it's finished, it jumps to some other list, and then I listen to bands that I have no idea who they are, And if I really enjoy it, I stop and look at them, and then that's how it is, just by listening to one song.
It's a good way to discover new things.
Yeah, yeah. So, that's probably how most of the my interviews are done right now. I just listen to or go on YouTube, I see a video, it catches my attention, and then that's all it
It's
takes.
incredible. If
Yeah,
you think about the difference between right now and 20 years ago, that us like little bands, we have a huge potential to reach people around the world
yeah,
easier and faster than it was 20 years ago. I
of
remember
course.
back 20 years ago, it was everything was slower. I remember that for discovering bands for me was reading before
Yeah,
reviews on
yeah,
paper
yeah,
and try to
magazines.
get to decide which album I have to buy and try to listen to
Yeah,
myself and be happy to
yeah,
have done it or disappointing that it was saying no, but the review was wrong, something like this.
yeah.
So
You know how many times I went to record store with so much, not that much money, and I had to spend it on an album, and you spend hours just looking at the covers and say, maybe this one, it looks great, but I have no idea. Sometimes you made a big mistake, like, fuck, I spent like
like
$12 or
everybody,
whatever, and then I listened to the album, like, this bullshit album, I paid so much money, I could get the other album, and like, now it's totally different. You don't go like that. Anyway,
I
so,
can totally remember that this experience. But it was incredible in sort of way, sort of also to
yeah,
discover something, and we were pay attention because an album it wasn't one listening.
no,
An
no,
album was 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 of listening. And
yeah,
maybe after 100 you were getting,
yeah.
a few songs because they were more complicated. Today there this type of things doesn't exist
It
anymore.
doesn't happen. That's true. That's right.
You listen maybe and today also even entire song, it's hard to get the listener to the end of the song.
Yeah, yeah, no, I understand. I understand, Richard. You're completely right, my friend. So tell me about the rest of the band members. Are there any? Because right now you are how many? You're six members right
Six,
now.
six.
Six,
Right now,
right?
yes, six. We are six.
And your last member is the drummer. Is he Lorenzo? Is he the last addition to the band?
Yeah, the drummer. It was the we changed many times drummer in our history.
Hmm.
The last one was a very young man compared to us. Very talented guy, and yeah, we hired him 2 years ago. So he started with us. He's a very talented guy. We are happy to have him
Hmm.
because actually he's doing the job and he brings new energy to the band.
I was going to ask you because I guess you're living in France and all the other members they live in Italy. How do you guys? I guess you talk to each other very so often, or I don't know if every day, or at least you get in touch at least 3 or 4 times a week. I don't know how you guys get things going with.
It depends. It depends if we are preparing something in particular or
Hmm,
not, if we are, on recording time. So there are periods that actually we talk just one time every 2 weeks, sometime every day, sometime multiple times per day. We have, a normal chat, a common chat, for current
right.
information, things like this. So it depends when you are listening something, you are listening a video, you're listening a song. But actually, I'm living in not so far from them, so we can
Okay.
gather and meet at least one time per month. So it's kind of not so complicated.
No, not anymore. You could get in touch right away. Um, so you're a singer. Well, I don't know if you could say it's female fronted band because you are also sing. You both sing uh, with a different style of singing. I get, I see you. You could growl. You do some growling also. You do clean voice. You do a lot of things. Whatever is needed, you could do. Uh,
Absolutely. I don't define myself as a real singer. I'm just lend, my voice to the benefit of the album. But actually, the real singer is my
Lucille.
my my colleague Lucille. I do just a few appearances because actually, I think on an artistic level, it needs that.
Hmm.
And when our former singer decided to leave the band because have in life things change
Of
and things
course.
like this, we decided to move on without hiring a new singer. So like this it was easier also to manage a shorter lineup compared to a bigger one.
Did you know her before a long time ago, or they just because she came in 2017? Am I right?
2016,
16.
actually.
Hmm.
No, actually, we knew her because we were living in the same town, but we never got in touch
Okay.
before. But when our first singer quit the band after the first album, we were looking for a new singer, and
Hmm.
Lucille was the best fit.
She has a great voice. Her background is in classical music, as many, you know.
Sure. Actually, she's today
She's still
she works
okay.
in a opera theater, in the main opera theater in Turin,
Oh, really? Okay.
she-
Well,
in the
sounds
choir. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's an
yes.
opera singer.
Yeah, soprano voice, I think.
Soprano, soprano,
Yeah,
soprano.
she.
Sure, sure, sure. No, she has an
Yeah.
incredible talent. Um, so sometime I kind of disappointed for her because I think that she could deserve more attention what she gets. Because actually she has a beautiful voice,
She
and
does. She does. I've been listening very closely to the way she sings. I
And
really
the thing that I liked, I totally liked. Actually, I struggled a bit at the beginning, but I right now is finally convinced because at the beginning she was totally afraid to leave her comfort zone, the
hmm
opera singing. And for instance, it was amazing that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, actually, we released an album that she didn't even sing one time in opera style.
hmm
And for her, it was a huge step, it was something huge. But actually, she's really, really talented to be able to change from style to another one, to move on, to move forward, to move backward, and I push herself always, always beyond all the limits
hmm
that she has.
Is this Scronia the first album where she appeared? This Scronia?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like I said. So tell me about your narratives and the concepts that run throughout all your albums. What themes or stories they inspire your music, the storytelling?
Hello. Well, for Discronia, for instance, for multiverse, for glitch, we have a
Which
sort of common topic, and we were following this topic through different songs and lyrics. This Thai kaleidoscope, the purpose was because we were creating on a music level different, um we have different approaches, so different style, different way to play. Also the narrative was totally different. We released 5 songs in the last 12 months, and
hmm
actually we come across, the Inquisition, that is very Gothic, very classical,
Right, yeah.
connected to the religious, the choirs, things like this, and go to Be a Lady, that is something that is more uh, linked to the actuality, is linked to the female need to fight to be recognized in the
Right.
society, a different approach. Even there is no synthesizer, no keyboards
hmm
at all in Be a Lady. And then we have D20, that is sort of fantasy world and totally
Yeah,
different. We joke
I like that
about
song.
the
Yeah,
the, the D&D. So we have totally different approach. And the last song that we released, Fog of Fear, we go
yeah,
back in a sort of lean more to the Glitch album, so dark, a little bit aggressive, and uh,
yeah, yeah. That was the first video I saw you from you guys. Fog of
okay.
Fear. That's the first video. Got my attention really well. And also, you're talking about that song, "Be a Lady." That's also I found out about that band, Octocrura, which I have no idea who they were, the female band. So that helped me out also to find
No,
find out about you.
Octokurura. I
Yeah,
loved Octokurura.
yeah,
I discovered when they joined their tune's label,
yeah.
and I fell immediately in love with their voices. Also, a few of their songs are very, very good.
Mm.
Um, I loved immediately the idea to be able to write for them,
Mm,
and the idea to have, no, it wasn't the first time that we see a band in metal with three female singers,
yeah.
but the idea was doing well to have three different, total different
Mm,
voice in female, because Lucille singing away and the singer of Otokura singer in two different ways as well.
mm.
And so the three different voice will be able to be managed and mixed in one song. It was kind of hard at the beginning, but I think that we did a good job.
Yeah, it's a great. Yeah, I really enjoyed. Like I said, I enjoyed your album, and for me, it was too short. You know,
You're right.
especially that song "Dark Tunes." I don't know if it's supposed to be towards like the record label, that little piece that you composed, "Dark Tunes."
In a sort of way, yes. It was funny because I was looking for a name for this that is more, bridge, something like this.
Hmm.
And I always liked the name Dark Tunes actually, so I decided why not? In sort
Yeah,
of way, sort of to celebrate
yeah,
the partners, and at the same time it was funny, so I did it for on purpose.
yeah. That's a good thing. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I like the band. I really enjoyed your band, Richard. You know, you bring your unique elements to the band, to bring to the metal scene. I guess we could say something different.
Muchas gracias.
Yeah, muchas gracias a usted. So yeah, I was like I said, I really enjoyed the album. It's a great album. It has 9 songs, some of them shorter than others. D20, listened. The first one is the one that caught my attention. What's the first song? I don't know. I guess and Fog of Fear, the Inquisition. I guess the Spanish Inquisition, like we call
Yeah, you're right.
it. So yeah. So were you involved in the creation of the album cover at all?
Um, Actually, it came like this, because every time is always during the years, nothing changing when you are composing an album that you start. We always start from music,
Hmm.
and then it's sort of I always use this metaphor, to describe this process like a puzzle.
Hmm.
You started with a puzzle, but you don't have the result of the picture in your mind. You can have, sort of a example, sample, and sort of you start a puzzle, and the beginning is super hard because you don't know what will be the final image, but you know that there will be a sense.
Hmm.
So you start, and little by little you compose the puzzle to at the in a sort of moment of the path to understand where are you going and to create the image of the puzzle. And so this is why the art works, because we were composing, we immediately understand that we were going in multiple directions. We have multiple different styles.
Hmm.
In a sort of way, we need a cover art that was in a sort of way mirroring this concept, and multiple colors on a city that was kind of monotone was the best way for us to represent this kaleidoscope of vision, kaleidoscope of ideas, of styles. So this is why we create this cover art.
Hmm. Is there any
And
specific?
I have
Yeah.
to admit that it born also. It was kind of also we were lucky because we were seeing different ideas, and in a
Hmm.
certain way, remember that we saw a fog, a picture of fogs in different colors, and we said, okay, why not? And maybe to put this on a city was kind of modern and same time particular.
Hmm. So, were there like any specific events or influences that shaped this project at all, or we just thought,
No, just like this, just like
hmm.
this.
How long did it take you guys to write and record the album? Just to.
Um, right now it's much faster than the past,
Hmm.
for two reasons. We have more experience,
Hmm.
and secondly, we are doing simpler music than compared to the past. Just making a stupid example, but it's not so stupid.
Hmm.
In the past, we were maybe repeating chorus or things like this, and we were changing all the time the lyrics. So it means that you have to record this multiple times. And so you have multiple things to edit and multiple things to add. So right
Hmm.
now we are kind of going to spare this type of things. We compose thinking about, okay, we can do this, and that, because actually we are not, it's not our main job. So we
Right.
have to do this during our free time. So the
Right.
space to do this are shorter. And so this we have to be efficient without having lots of time. So right now, I have to say that in 3 months of work, you do everything.
Hmm. Hmm. Did you experiment with any new sounds or instruments on this record that you didn't before or no?
Mm, Not in particular, no. No,
Hmm.
we always experiment multiple things since the beginning.
Hmm.
I have to admit that at the time I was enjoying also to insert in every songs insert of different genre of music. You know, we have a song called Monster at the beginning of the first album that actually in the middle you hear a sort of tango mixed with metal. Uh,
Yeah.
it was something that we did, you know, in Tyre and Multiverse. Actually, we have a sort of in the middle, a sort of a rim. It's not a like tribute, but it's sort of remember the idea of flamenco, something like
Yeah.
this. So
There is a song that I also listen. I don't remember which one it was. It has like a feeling of a reggae song for like a
yeah,
couple.
sure,
Yeah. Yes.
yeah. Because actually, sort of way, it's something that correspond to my personality. I
Hmm.
listen to all the genre of music for sure. There are genre that I listen much more than other ones, but
Hmm.
I'm not close to listen to other genre of music. I like to listen to hip hop, dance music, or
Hmm.
reggae or jazz, and so it was for me a sort of way a tribute to all this music, kind of trying to put this influence in
Hmm.
my music.
Hmm. I have a question. I don't know. Have you ever encountered any, I don't know, maybe the word, I don't know, negativity or maybe prejudice from within the metal community regarding your style of music, or you never heard of any?
Well, maybe today it's much more open because actually you can reach people all around the world, so it's easier to get people that are really enjoying what you're doing than in
Hmm.
the past. In the past, it was kind of more closed. People, even inside metal, I remember when I was growing up, people that were listening to power metal, they weren't listening to heavy metal. People that were listening to heavy metal, they were listening to black metal, and they were kind
Right.
of strict and
Right.
close to open to other influences. But
Right.
for me, for instance, I remember when the first time I heard even bands like Orphan Land that were mixing Arabic, or Oriental style with metal, or I remember Diablo's Swing Orchestras with mixing
Right.
swing with metal. For me, it was kind of wow, it's huge.
Right.
But I can understand also people that are no, they're used to one sound and they want just to hear this sound all the time.
Yeah.
Different taste. So
Yeah.
we are
Yes.
all different.
Yeah. I understand. I agree with you. Uh, Regarding your videos also, do you have like storyboards or a specific process of for planning your music videos? Oh, it's
It depends. Well, for D20, we needed, it was impossible to
mm,
shoot because actually even shooting videos are really expensive. So you have to do it in the shorter time possible.
mm,
And for to do something like D20, we needed a script, something to follow.
mm,
For other ones, like Fear was kind of easy. It was just a playback, so it was kind of easy, not
mm,
nothing difficult. For other ones, yeah, in general, you have to at least to find the place, to find maybe have two or three ideas how to compose. But actually, I have to admit that on that level, we were followed by a director who was really good, able to understand every time our style and every time to fit and create a different video for every song. So our director that create all the videos,
Mm,
I think that they made long during the years a wonderful job because
mhm.
actually it was to mirror our style in videos. Because if you look, okay, there is always a common sense. You can't do just a total different video. We are a metal band. We have to show that we're playing time to time, and we are doing that. But I think that every video compared to other bands that are, well, just changing the landscape that they have behind them, but the
Yeah.
video are kind of always the same. In us, we
Right.
have say that we tried at least to change a bit, even the past you saw. And it's time to time we also enjoy to do videos that are funny. So we are not
Yeah.
taking us too much seriously. Sometimes we love to joke about ourselves as well.
Yeah. So what we could say is that the most challenging video that you guys filmed so far, the one that took you the
But
longest.
well, the 20 was kind of
20?
hard to maintain in one day all the shoot we needed and to
Hmm.
be able to post this on uh, to create, recreate the story that we had in mind.
Hmm.
They were few videos that actually we had an idea in mind, but was when you release you see the final result, you say, oh, okay, it's so easy to get the idea.
Hmm.
But I have to admit that still today, one of the funniest was the 20 with Time Machine, because also Time Machine we have we enjoy to change different customs
Hmm.
for to have this idea of to travel during the time, and it was a really really funny time, especially
Nice.
because we always do this type of when we are use um this type of customs, we are always in during the summertime, so it's
Hmm.
really hot outside. We have to wear these dress that are so hot, and so every time it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Also, regarding your videos and the live shows themselves, what is important? How important is for you the live atmosphere to your live shows? What kind of experience are you looking for to give the audience and fans, I guess we could
Um,
say?
to be able to give a show, it's
Mm,
important. We're not there. I'm not discriminate classic music again, but we are not there just playing and to be able to focus to reproduce something perfectly. For this, you have the recordings. So you have
yeah,
the albums, you have Spotify, you have all the you need to listen to the perfect
right.
music. There we have to at least what we want. It's to give them a show, to try to interact with the people. People like to interact with their artists,
Mm,
like to be being able to see a show that is kind of interesting at the same time it's not boring. So for us the main purpose is to be able to give something that maintain their attention and maintain also uh, create a sort of energy interaction, huge
mm-hmm,
interaction with the audience.
hmm. Uh, Tell me about this, the visual, the aesthetics. How do do you approach your stage outfits, the makeup, the imagery? You wearing a mask, all the um, it's it's I don't know how when you started doing the first concerts and your first shows. Were you wearing masks at that time or no?
Well, I started kind of not immediately, but after a few concerts at the beginning, it was kind of an idea at the time. We had in
Hmm.
mind the idea to create sort of characters for every member of the band. And
Hmm.
if you look to the first album, actually, the character are kind of really, really, really independent. And so
Hmm.
we create different members. And after a few years, because it's first it's hard to maintain always, and because we didn't want to maintain always the same things, we evolved with the time.
Hmm.
and we reproduce different approaches. And today, yeah, I maintain my mask because I think, aesthetic level has an or sort of impact on audience. But we decide also to be able to be more modern. And then how we choose well, it depends. Actually, it's something that does very well our singer Lucille.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because is a woman, we don't know, but actually she's the best perfect person to choose and say every time. Because for me, for example, I have no zero, but zero creativity on that level.
Oh,
I
really? Hmm.
if you will say to me, Richard, please tomorrow think about a new idea for the new look for the band. It will be a
Right.
nightmare for me because I don't have any idea.
Hmm. Wow. That was interesting. Is there like a talking about demographics about your fans? Did you notice a difference in how male and female engage with your music?
Mhm. 90% of people, well, not 90, but 85% of people are male in general.
Hmm. Yeah, I had that
G-
feeling. Yeah.
First, because you see the statistics.
Right.
People, metalheads, for sure, are more in general already in every genre of music, male, so men are listening more than women, or
Hmm.
men get more um, follower in particular type of music. I'm not saying about a particular artist, pop singer, maybe, or Taylor Swift, you
Right.
see you have a huge
Yeah.
audience with women. But
Right.
when you are going in particular genre of music and be hip hop or things like this, the male audience it's bigger. So this is the first reason. And secondly, also in the metal in general, already 60-70% of the audiences or is male.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah. You have done many countries in Europe, many shows, many tours in the past also. But is there any particular place where you were received more, where you felt more comfortable playing
Well,
besides
actually,
Italy, I guess?
well,
Oh
it
no, oh no.
depends. We had the chance to play in Spain a
Hmm.
few years ago, and was kind of good. Was different for us because um, we remember the audience was kind of really hot, warming.
Hmm.
But we played also in places that are used to the metal genre, like Germany, like north of Europe, and there you are really welcomed every time.
Hmm.
Festivals are for us the biggest opportunity. The
Hmm.
crowd, when you have a huge crowd, it's wonderful. But also little venues can be funny sometimes because you can see immediately the audience that you have in front of you. So it's something that can be really enjoying.
So tell me about what the fans can expect from you guys going into the future. Any directions that you would like to explore?
Um, it's a very good question. Right now, I don't know. I'm taking a sort of break, artistic break, to because I think that it's important also to try to, in my process,
Hmm.
from a point to another one, if you don't break a little bit, well, you just will reproduce what you did till
Right.
now. So to be able to have a fresh start, you needed to have a sort of break. So on artistic level, I think that we will little stop for a bit
Hmm.
before starting again.
Right.
We are more focusing right now on the release, maybe play a few live shows, and then we will see for the future
Hmm.
what will happen.
Hmm. So I guess we could expect a couple shows during this year from you
Sure.
guys. Yeah. Is there
We
any
hope.
like music festival, talking about festivals, that you would make go wild if you had the chance to play? like a dream kind of a venue, perhaps?
Well, any big summer festival, it's
Hmm.
always a big dream, you know.
Hmm.
These type of events are. I like summer festival. I like it.
Some.
I like the ambience. I like the
Hmm.
even the energy that you create on the stage, and even the stage you can hit are huge, are marvelous. So
Hmm.
you feel to be on stage, you feel the, the event. So it's something magical for me
Hmm.
every time.
Well, I hope I get the chance one day to see you guys play somewhere in Europe.
I hope so.
Uh, United States is gonna be harder, but
I think
it's
so.
gonna be harder. Don't even try coming right now. I'm not just kidding. Like I said, I've been listening to your albums the last 2 months. I listened to Glitch and Kaleidoscope. I went back to the early ones, the Multiverse, Discordia, Nova Beta. Listen, I gotta go back and listen more. I suggest my viewers and listeners to take a look at this band and go to check their discography. You're probably gonna enjoy some records more than the others, like everything else. So do that. Listen to the latest one, and then it's gonna be short for you. So check the other ones, the longer ones. Some of them are quite long, also. So like 53-minute long. So you you have plenty of choices, and you can go to YouTube, watch all those videos. You're gonna spend a couple hours watching their videos, and you can do anything you like. Even some interviews better than the one I'm doing right now. You can watch
No,
also.
you did a very good interview, and actually, it's one the first interview that you were able to ask few interesting questions. Not always the same question, but a few interesting one that were different from the usual.
Well, thank you for
So I
that.
enjoyed the interview. Thank you very
Yeah, I'm
much.
a, sometimes I'm a little pain in the ass, let me tell you. I'm behaving really well
Not with me
today.
this time, so I was lucky.
I'm behaving really well today. I'm not saying crazy things like I usually do. So I feel bad. I feel good. I think I had my coffee this morning and I feel much better now.
I was really lucky then.
Yeah. After this, I'm gonna walk my dog. The two dogs. I got two dogs. I
Oh,
got,
okay.
and then I watch a pro soccer game or something. Who knows? Whatever. That had nothing to do with music. I'm going already somewhere else. So I suggest, what's the best way to stay updated with your latest news and releases from the band, Richard?
Social media for sure. Instagram or Facebook or in general, we update it regularly. Post. So we do also funny things on Instagram in particular. Facebook is more formal.
Hmm.
But on Instagram we do many things, and every 2 3 days you have every time stories or posts, and so it's the best way to keep in touch,
Hmm.
to keep seeing what we are preparing, what we are cooking. So it's kind of the best place to follow us for sure.
And to listen and get your albums, I guess, is a Bandcamp the best way? How?
Bandcamp, our Dark Tunes label
Thank
have
you.
a website called Dark Merch. You can go
Right.
there. But for me, the best gift is not that one decide to buy our albums. Well, it's always appreciated, but still, I'm happy at least when you are listening to our music on Spotify or every platform. It's kind of big support for us.
Okay. I subscribed to them. It's cheap. You don't pay, And if you follow them on YouTube, you don't have to pay anything. You know that? Maybe some people think they, if you follow a band, you gotta pay. No, it's free.
You're right. And even your channel is free for
It's free.
everybody.
Everything is free. You don't have to pay for anything right now. Regarding this, other things, forget it. But this, doesn't only a click. It's all it takes. Ah, lazy people we got living in this world. Lazy. Anyway,
So
before
subscribe to the channel, please.
yes, subscribe to their channel. Follow them as you follow some other bullshit. You know that makes no sense to follow other things. Follow something that's more important. You follow the artist, you follow
But
you help them out.
I
Come on.
can I add one thing because I
Sure.
really think of this that
Yeah.
it's thank to people like you that spend time to listen to bands to get the energy also to want to interview the bands. I'm surprised. Actually, it's something that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't do. And when there are people like you that are willing to interview us take the time to listen to our music. I'm
Yeah.
always surprised and admire because actually I'm thankful to people like you give us the chance to continue our music.
That's nice from you, Richard. I'm almost ready to cry. No, I really enjoy talking to, I already said it before. I really enjoy talking to musicians because for me, I feel good when I talk to people that I really enjoy listening to and they do music that I like. So, that's the only reason. I get nothing out of this. I could be doing something else right now, but I
Ah,
really
sure.
enjoy this. I really enjoy it. I cannot play any instruments. I got a bunch of instruments that for decoration. My daughter plays instruments. I just look at them, and I feel bad. I cannot play anything. But I love listening to the music and any kind of music. And I spend a lot of hours listening to music during the day because I have plenty of time to do it. So I do it. And I like finding new bands and see what they do. And if I like them, the best thing to do is to talk to them and see how they came up with all these ideas and things that they really do well. So I
Well,
really,
thank you very much because
I
actually
really,
I told you it's
yeah.
really appreciated.
I thank you so much, Richard. I just want to wish you the best, lots of success with your upcoming projects,
Muchas
and great
gracias.
health, yeah, and
Sure.
great
First
health
thing
on and off the road. So that's very
I
important.
I can say for you and your followers the same thing.
So see you next time, guys. And it was a pleasure talking to Aevum, whatever way you want to say it, okay?
Right.
Just listen to them and follow them. See you guys next week, and hopefully it's gonna be as good as this. Probably not. Don't even bother. See you
Hasta la
next week.
próxima.
Hasta la próxima. See you next time. Thank you.